Sasha Sabbeth has been an entrepreneur, intuition, and purpose soul coach for over 29 years. She must have started when she was 13. She is a personal, spiritual, and business development consultant, speaker, and trainer. Her mission is to help clients craft themselves, their business, and their world to passionately live their soul purpose. Sasha's signature message is succeed in sync with your soul. She helps clients connect to their intuition, their core values, and their intrinsic talents. Clients are moved, including me, by her perceptiveness, compassion, and persistence. And she's from New York originally, which I love because she's a straight shooter. Please welcome Sasha Sabbeth.
Hello, everybody. Oh boy. You know, I was deeply, Carol, my love. Carol's here. I just want to take a moment and realize what's happening here this morning. I want to thank Jody and Nikki because we now have a container, a haven of something very special, and that is an environment of hope, determination, upliftment, leadership for what is so needed in the country and in the world right now. Raise your hand if you agree with me. This is needed right now. No kidding. This is it. So thank you. Thank you for those. Thank you, Nancy. I think I see your hand. Okay. And my purpose today, I have an agenda. It's not a hidden agenda. It's a New York out front, in front of your face agenda. And that is this, that as a result of today's session, you are going to have a deeper commitment to, just one second, I'm so sorry. I have to get something here. Okay. You have an opportunity to reflect, step back, and tell yourself, based on the things that Maureen has said, based on the things that Angela has said, based on the things that I'm going to say, based on Mickey, based on Jody, to want more of your power to come out into the world. And my message to you is your personal power to craft your life, to make the changes that you need, to navigate the tough spots, are absolutely diametrically connected to your access to your spiritual power. Now, this is a religion-free zone, okay? I believe that there is a powerful source of creativity and love all around us, which I will call the God force. So that's where I'm coming from. So I ask you, please, please indulge me to put anything else aside and know that you're loved, and know that all that matters here is love. And my interest for you is that as a result of what you hear today, is that you're going to say, you know what? Those patterns are obsolete. That belief system is obsolete. This holding myself back is obsolete. And just draw a line in the sand. So I'd like you to just take a moment. Just close your eyes if you want to, or just defocus if you want to keep your eyes open, and just say to yourself, I deserve to be the powerful light in this lifetime, even more than I am now. Amen. And now I'm going to bring in an archangel container. Some of you who have worked with me know how I do this. And so just allow yourself, Archangel Michael behind us, Archangel Raphael to the right, Archangel Gabriel to the left, Archangel Uriel in front, Archangel Metatron above, Archangel Sandalphon below. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, why I do this is because we have this connection all the time. Now, many of you pray. Everybody here is intuitive. So let's just get that off the table. No kidding. You don't have to be a psychic medium the way I am. You don't have to be an empath the way I am. You have it. And my prayer today is that you're either going to hop on Amazon and buy a bunch of develop your intuition books, or you work with me, or you do something that allows you to more consistently, confidently, and more accurately connect to your intuition for everyday life. So there's a quote that I want to share with you, because this is exactly the opposite of what I want you to do as a result of today's session. This is from Mahatma Gandhi. God speaks to us every day, only we don't know how to listen. No more. So, how many of you, here's how I'd like you to do it. I actually would like you to raise your human hand, because if I look at that chat, it's just going to break my circuit when you do not want me to break my circuit. So how many here have had this experience? You get an intuitive hit. There's no kidding. It's an intuitive hit, and it's right on, and it came as a miracle, and you're just so grateful. And then you don't know if you should follow through. And you're in limbo. Scenario number one. Scenario number two. You've got all these decisions to make. You're a very creative person. You have a real longing to go forward in one direction, but you have a longing to go in another direction. And then, you don't think that not either of those are the right thing to do. Or you don't think that you should do that ever or now. So you've got all this great downloads of inspiration and motivation, but you don't know what to choose. You don't know when to choose it. You don't know if to choose it. Anybody have any of those kinds of experiences? Okay. Now, scenario number three. Here you are. You're a business owner. You're an influencer. You have a household, a community, your personal life that you love and that you want to nurture. And in business, you have a signature talk. You want to write a chapter. You want to design a new, let's see, Maureen, what would Maureen want to create? Maureen might want to create a new candle type, a new aroma. And Jody, well, I don't want to give you a sneak preview over there. And Angela's not here, so she'll do anything she wants because she's dialed in powerfully. And you really want to target precisely the right thing that brings out the essence, that brings out your soul purpose, power, that sets you apart from everybody else. And you want it to come from your intuition. You want it to come from your spirit guides. You want it to come from those of you who are in the Christian faith. You want it to come from Holy Spirit, pure, pure, pure. And you don't know how to do it. Or you doubt it, or you don't know how to get it now. You know that it comes every now and then, but you want it now. Or you're in front of a client and you really want to reach them to make that shift. I know, Jody, you have this longing with your people where you really want to make sure you speak to the heart and where they are. And you want to do it right. You feel like you've got one arrow that you can shoot into the target of the essence of who they are to make the difference. And you don't really know how to do it, or you doubt yourself so much. I know I just threw a whole line of scenarios, but essentially, who has had that feeling? They want to download the content. They want to reach their people. Anybody have that experience? Thank you, Beth. Thanks for playing. And so the answer to all of this is know your intuition, develop an intimate relationship with your intuition. Know the secret sauce formula of your intuition's way of communicating with you and how to maximize your receptivity. And I'm actually going to give you a choice a little later on on which technique you might want to learn. So that's coming up. Now, there is another part of this that has to do with mindset. And I'm actually going to sing you a chorus from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. And let's see if you know what I'm referring to. Even when the dark comes crashing through, and you have a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. You will be found. So who's going to find you? Anybody have any ideas? You want to throw it in the chat? Who wants to be brave? Even when the dark comes crashing through and you have a friend to carry you and you're broken on the ground, you will be found. Who's brave? Who am I talking about? What am I talking about? Your intuition. Your intuition's going to find you. Your ability to connect to that wisdom, to that spiritual realm that is there all the time, you will be found. And that's the mindset that I would like you to embrace as a result of my talk with you today. Because when we think that it's not there, when we think that we just have our conscious mind to turn to, especially when the stakes are high, especially when there's stress, especially when there is this swirl of life. And right now, for those of us who are particularly sensitive, for those of us who are particularly committed to social justice, what's happening in this country and in the world is very tough to observe. And so how do we mitigate this? How do we navigate this? You do it by going to your wisdom, because there's a lot of lying. There is a lot of disinformation. I'm not saying anything you don't already know, right? I haven't offended anybody yet, have I? Everybody with me? Still love me? Okay, good. I got a few smiles. I'll take it. And so what you're after is to take the stance, I incarnated in this lifetime at this particular time, and I have all the equipment I need to thrive and to create a path of goodness and goodwill. And also, I'm going to be a light. I'm going to be a light leader. That is the self-identity I invite you to explore for yourself. Because as a light leader and as one who turns to the light, you will be a healing presence to those around you, even if you're standing online in the grocery store. Even if you are not just for your clients and your students and your readers and your audiences, but you will be from moment to moment a vibrational field, because you have what I have called activated your heaven and earth factor. So I'm giving you a lot of platform here. I'm giving you a lot of foundation here so that you can look upon yourself and take the time, take the time to really develop, so that it's not like, oh boy, I hope I get a message, or gosh, that seemed like my intuition talking to me, but I don't know what it means. I want to help you, encourage you to pierce through that, however you're going to do that. Now, one of the things that I have been guided to do as a result of my path, and I'll tell you about that in a second, is I'm focusing on my signature course now, because I feel that it's critically important. And Jody, if you want to say something about it later, or Carol, that's fine. I don't want to put you on the spot. What I am up to right now for everyone is for you to realize that it's time to unleash or ignite your intuition, so that you confidently use your intuition in your professional life and your personal life, no matter what. And so the reason that there are particularly 3 points having to do with intuition that I want to focus on today is because this you can use right away. Even if it's for you to feel like you're taking baby steps, that's okay. We have to start somewhere, right? And what's that expression? I don't want to mess it up, but essentially it goes like this. Baby steps lead to this huge mile, this huge mountain that you've climbed. So that's the imagery I'd like you to have. So principle number 1, we have our analyzer mind and we have our heaven and earth factor. We have our spiritual realms. And by harnessing the two, we're able to use our alchemical connection so that we can accomplish things faster. There is a definite, obvious, improved quality of life. We get the joy, we get the giggles, we get the sweetness of life because it looks like magic. And it is. I mean, if you define magic, it is magic. When you just think a thought and your vibration is high and you're asking your intuition, I wonder, how am I going to solve this, this, and this? And then bam, there's an email that comes in, or there's a phone call that comes in, or somebody's name drops into your awareness. I call that magic. And everybody has access to that. So I'll give you a story in my life because I want to encourage you to become more intuitive. So a couple of years ago, there was a goal that I had. I had a financial goal. And basically, in terms of what I do and who I am, yes, I call myself an intuition success strategist. I am an energy healer. I am a soul guide. I am an intuition teacher, and I use spiritual forces that empower entrepreneurs to remove success blocks and live an intuition-led life where they get paid more and faster. So this is coming from that perspective. I had a financial goal, and it was a big goal, and I really wanted it. And so I went into my intuition and I just said, "Dear intuition, show me." And here is a key phrase I would like you to write down and use in your life when you are working with your intuition. The question is, what is my very best next step? About whatever. What is my very best next step? Okay, you got that? Good. So I did that. And sure enough, a sequence of events, they didn't happen right away, but I knew to look for them. I knew to look. I knew to feel. And what happened was a friend contacted me and they wanted to put my information up on their page on Facebook. Somebody from their community picked up on it. They contacted me. Spoiler alert, they paid me in full for a $15,000 package. Now, all of that started because I asked my intuition and I was glued to the screen. My radar was on red alert as to messages from my intuition. So that's on the business side. Now let's talk on the personal side. Let's see, which one should I share? I'll give you one that's it's dramatic, but it is intuition. And there will be times in your life where the stakes are so high, as I mentioned earlier. And the key is that you have to get grounded fast when you've got the pressure on, right? We all know that. And I do help people do that in my course and in my private sessions, quite obviously, because it's basic. There was somebody who was kidnapped. Yep, it's a little dramatic. Hang on, everybody, strap up. And nobody knew where this person had been taken, but I was informed. I went into my intuition. Spoiler alert, what do you think I'm going to say? Who wants to be brave? We have brave opportunity number 2. Anybody brave enough to say? You can either raise your hand and I'll call on you, or you can put in the chat. I found the person. Oh, Carol, were you gonna? Yeah.
I was gonna say you found the person, but you contacted the police too.
Yes, of course. What could I do about it, right? Yes, I found the person and I contacted the right authorities. The person was rescued. So why do I say this? I say it because we're living, thank you, Carol, I love you. We are living in times where there's great intensity, there's great change, there's great humanity evolution, there's great consciousness rising, and we can do our part. And the way we do our part, yes, ad nauseum, learn how to connect with your intuition more than you are now. Okay, is that safe to say? more than you are now. All right, now, point number 2 as to why intuition is just so valuable. Point number 1 was you do things faster, there's a higher quality of life, and it's fun, it's juicy, it's magic. Number 2 is that in your world, you are at perhaps a real growth period. I know I am. And soul expansion can be messy. What I mean by messy is we're up against our comfort zone. And it can be challenging to be willing to go outside into the unfamiliar. It can be challenging to say no to something where everyone around you has been taught that you say yes to those things. But now you want to break out of that stereotype, or you want to break out of that mode, or you just want to change. You just want to change who you are in the world for you and for the goals that you want to accomplish. So how do you do that? Yes, there are a ton of personal development, spiritual healers out there. We are living in blessed times. Quite amazing, actually, when you think about it. What's at our disposal in this lifetime. And so my point is you can use your intuition to start breaking down and building an action plan for yourself. Now, one thing that I do have as a free gift is, I'll put the link in there in a minute in the chat, is an opt-in for a training that's part of a mini course called Unleash Your Success Intuition Power. And in that video that's for free, you will learn a technique on how to release, psychically and energetically release what you can. You know, your higher self calls the shots, right? And you have to be ready to let go of certain energies that are connected to experiences that you're living. And assuming that you can, this is a very simple technique for you to release what I love to call obsolete. It served you, it was a gift, it was a teacher, and it's done. And then to activate your energy field with the guidance of your intuition, the necessary thought forms, the necessary energy, so that you start broadcasting. You start imprinting the morphogenetic field out there. That's the energy field around you, what I call the God force, the morphogenetic field, with the thought forms that you want to mobilize, you want to activate, you want to catalyze, so that your outer world begins to give you what you want. So the purpose of intuition for point number 2 is to start to reinvent yourself, is to know that you can, and not to come from a place of, I hate this, I got to get rid of this, I can't go on like this. Yes, there's a part of your ego that does feel that way. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. Excuse me, but let's have you traverse then now, like a pendulum swing, to the side that says, these were my master teachers to have me become the powerful treasure chest of wonderful characteristic traits and beliefs and desires and persona that I am now going to go out into the world as the light leader that I am. That's the mindset I'd like you to have instead. And so using your intuition to allow yourself to grow, what Maureen would classify as another way of room to breathe, so that you know, okay, I've got my toolkit, I've got my heaven and earth factor. I just need to have the patience, I need to have the self-love, I need to have the commitment, I need to have the right community, I need to have the right guide. And so your soul purpose path, your intuition will lead you to those people. I would love to be someone in your camp for that. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is you are needed. I know that sounds so grandiose. I'm not saying to heal the world. That's silly. Can't be done. Not now. But you can help. And the way that you can help is by going into this tender, special, self-loving place where you partner with your intuition to ask, how can I be of greatest service with this? Is this on my soul purpose path, or is that for somebody else to do? Right? Don't beat yourself up if there's too much of what you know is needed, but you don't have it in you to give. Somebody else will. But for you as a light leader, for you as a contributor, for you as an influencer, please give yourself permission to have bragging rights. You paid your dues. Everybody here has. I know it. I don't know any of you except for a few, but I do know that everyone has paid their dues. And so what you want to do is to say, okay, I am important. And through the grace of my connection to my intuition, I will be able to make the impact that I want and take care of myself. So I'm not going to be a martyr. I'm not going to overextend myself. I'm not going to be a codependent. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be soul aligned and bring forth what I can. So those are my 3 points. Now, I'm not going to talk about myself. I'll just say this real quick. I was bedridden, came into this lifetime with a lot of health issues. I went off to heal myself, got trained in all kinds of things, energy healing, Reiki master, other kinds of healing modalities. That's when I found out that I was a psychic medium. I started seeing spirits. I started talking to the other side. And because I wanted to be self-employed, why? Because I had to have my own schedule. I was too sick. I was being, what's that word called? Fired. I kept getting fired from jobs because I was sick. So the only way for me to be an income earner is I had to have my own thing. And to do that, I had to know that what I was teaching, I lived. So I got certified in all kinds of things, became a healer, a guide, a spiritual business mentor for entrepreneurs. Now, here is where I want to ask a question. How much time do I have, Jody, darling? 3 minutes? Okay, so we're not going there. What I'll do is I'll give you information about my special. Thank you, Mickey. I'm glad you like my sense of humor. I think you're an East Coaster, aren't you? Aren't you an East Coaster? Yeah, okay. We recognize each other. Okay. So I'm putting into the chat here my information, and I'm going to ask you to all consider getting this free offer, which is right there. It's called Reclaim Your Power, Clear the Way. That's the one that has a video training. It's about 20 minutes. It also has a handout with exercises and steps to take. And with this particular opt-in, you get 30 minutes with me. Now, even if you don't want that opt-in, because our group is small, I really want to invite each and every one of you who would like to talk to me and have a complimentary, what I call intuition and soul success alignment session. If you're up to big things, if you're already in momentum, if you already have a tremendous impact of goodness in the world and you want to go to the next level, let's have a talk. And I'm also going to make a little bit of a limiter. Anybody who wants to talk to me this weekend, just use that email address up there, info@entrepreneursoulcoach.com. Put in the subject line, this weekend. Give me your phone number and I'll get in touch with you. I have room for 4 people, and whoever comes and talks to me this weekend, that could be you, Mickey, it could be you, Jody, it could be you, Maureen, anybody who's really wanting to go that next step, you'll get a copy of my book. It's a compilation, author compilation. I think it was an Amazon bestseller. Basically, I'm trying to encourage you to look at your life and say, you know, I really do want to put my foot on the gas pedal. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I think I'm just wrapping up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because it's leaders like Jody, it's leaders like Mickey who say, you know, we're just going to jump in and swim. And look at the beautiful people we've created, in this meeting. I mean, it's very touching. So much love, everybody. Please come talk to me. No pressure, only light. God bless.